Yes, sir. On air with Aaron, HB Radio, Las Vegas' #1 hip-hop internet station. A new one from Brent Fayez right there. And I got the biggest Brent Fayez fan in the building right now. Our special guest, Jordy from Culture Kings in the building. What's up, Jordy?
What's up, Aaron? How we doing? It's
Man,
a pleasure to
good.
be here.
Thank you for being here, bro.
Biggest fan of Brent Fayez. I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like
come on, bro.
There's probably bigger fans out there. I mean, I do have Sonder tattooed on.
That's what I'm gonna say. Show the camera your Sonder tattoo. You know what I'm saying?
Sonder right here. But that's because Sonder, obviously, there's a two-part meaning to that Sonder meaning. There's the band. It's well, not band, but group of Brent and Deepat and all those cool beats that they've been doing since 2015, 2016 when I first found them. But the meaning of Sonder and the definition of Sonder is actually that every person that you walk past in the street, it's about recognizing how complex their lives are and recognizing that their lives are just as complex as our own, and to never, treat people in a different way because they're going through the same things as you are in your complex life. So that's like the definition of Sonder. That's
what's up, bro.
It's a two-part.
Jordy's dropping gems already. Like, that's crazy. No way. So why did Sonder's the name of the group then that Brent was in? Okay. At first, when I got put on to Brent, I just thought Brent went by Sonder, but it's a group.
Yeah, so that's the group. So Deepak is his producer.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's the one the creator behind the music and doing all the production. And Brent's the voice, and that's kind of where I first really got onto Brent back in 2015, 2016, 10 years ago. Probably one of the best years in music.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Crazy that it's 10 years ago. Think about albums like Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight, Travis Scott. That's one of my all-time favorite albums. And it's 10 years ago now.
That is crazy that shit flew by so fast.
It's wild, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But then I got to see Brent live for the first time and only time, really. It was 2020, 2021. I want to say 2021, January kind of thing. Yeah. I actually saw him at one of the main event places, right in the middle of the city, that's connected to Culture Kings in Melbourne, that's owned and leased out by the same people who leased the Culture Kings location to us.
Wow.
So we had a good little relationship there, and that's how I got tickets and whatnot. It's a 100-year-old plus building. It's really cool.
That's
old
crazy.
Theater. And so I gone and seen him there, and then I actually did the meet and greet too, because I got a good ticket with having that connection. And I met him, and I had to explain to him, sorry about looking like shit, because I actually got spiked the night before.
No way.
Yeah. These two girls, I had gone out. Some of my friends from Perth had come over, and they went out, and I met them out later on in the night. And I was standing at the bar, and I just picked up my first 2 drinks of the night.
Okay.
And I was standing there, I turned around, and these 2 girls come up to me, and I was like, whoa, what the hell? And they come up, and they're like, why are you not replying to my sister on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't even know who you are, who your sister is, blah, 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 blah. And just kind of they were bailing me up at the bar, trying to get a conversation out of me, trying to find out why, just get my attention, whatever.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there for them, and the place was crammed, and I didn't even want to go out that night. I was just there to have those 2 drinks, say hey, go home,
dip.
Finish those 2 drinks and
blacked out.
No, just wasn't functioning properly, started feeling weird on the way out, got home, and just my legs stopped functioning.
Oh shit.
And I just lost all mobility and whatever. Next morning, I was buckled next morning. I'd had a friend come over to check to see if I was okay and whatever. Called a friend of mine that was a nurse the next morning, and she's like, yeah, you got spiked. Those symptoms are spiked.
So one of those girls spiked your drink?
Probably.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was thinking. While they were bailing me out, they probably just went soup.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I was all
and they were kind of coming up to you aggressively, why don't you reply?
Yeah. But that's what people are like, and I'm not saying that I'm anything to be coming up at it, and wanting my attention. I'm just a regular dude. But yeah, they wasted some drugs that night, so unlucky for you.
No, but literally, because you have a unique look. You remember when I first met you, when we had the Culture Kings, I guess an onboarding orientation thing, over at the hotel over here in Vegas. I was intimidated by you because I was okay, I want to know who the GM is, Jordy. Let me see what he's about, and your IG is lit, Culture Kings, you are deeply breaded into the brand. It's tatted on you, and then even when Simon was there and he talked about you, like you have a really integral part in Culture Kings. Obviously, bringing it into the U.S., like you were that guy that did that. You know what I mean? And opened up numerous stores in Australia. And I wanted to know, like, what got you into like Culture Kings? Like, who was Jordy before Culture Kings, and how did you get connected with them?
I mean, it's a long story to get to where I kind of was with Culture Kings, but I'll keep it, short, like the job before Culture Kings kind of thing. But I think I kind of identified retail as something that I could maybe make something of. I started at my first role in like a sports type retailer back in Perth, Western Australia. And from there, I just put my all into everything that I do.
Right.
Developed that good work ethic from my old man, like working with him when I was younger.
Dope.
Put my all into that first job, got to, manage my first store at like 18, managed to get to like the flagship location and help look after that for that business. That's where I discovered Culture Kings and another store called Platypus in the city.
Okay.
Which was actually right next door to Culture Kings. So I worked at Platypus for 3-4 years,
and that's like a sporting goods?
That's a streetwear retailer as well.
Okay.
So they have, they're the ones that kind of have control over the accounts with like Vans and Converse and Timberlands and like all that kind of thing in Australia. Like they're the ones that you would buy that product from.
Okay.
If you're Culture Kings, like they're the ones that are selling it to them.
They're like
on
the
a wholesale level.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So I was working for them, but I'm gonna be honest, like I wasn't considered for the roles that I wanted. I really wanted the flagship role with them. I ended up getting it, but not before 3 to 4 female people were put in front of me. There's a lot of like little, shady nuances that went on and politics that went on with all of that. But essentially because I wasn't kind of put in that position when I wanted to, and because they kind of messed me around a little bit to get there, when Culture Kings came over and said, "Hey, you want to jump ship?" I did, and I took like 5 or 6 people with me. And said,
okay. Yeah,
you know what I mean? That was back 10 years ago now, October this year. I'll be with the business for 10 years.
Wow.
In total. So yeah.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, did my thing in Perth for a couple years.
That was the first store that you
First Culture King store, yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I was poached and they didn't have any positions available. So I was happy just to drop down to just a full-time sales associate again.
Wow.
Because I knew I'd be able to work my way back up. So yeah, went from flagship for the sports, flagship for the other streetwear business. And then got poached and just dropped down to full-time and knew that I could work my way back up. So
and how long were you this full-time sales associate before you ended up
Not long. I can't remember exactly how long, but the minute I got there, I was like, okay, like how can I gain everybody's trust? That was always something for me, like especially going into a business that you're not known, and like there's other people there that want progression. There's other people there that want opportunities. Like you're coming in somewhere where everyone's hungry.
Right.
And so I communicated with like the manager at the time and kind of said like, what do you guys need that's not being done right now? And one of those things was accessories, and I'm all about my accessories, always have been.
Yeah.
Always like my watches, my rings, and whatever. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to take that on. And like at the first month I was there was that October. I worked 2 weeks of October. And they had a month-long incentive running for G-Shock that month. Okay. Whoever sold the most G-Shocks got a free G-Shock that was worth like $1,200
like,
or something like that.
Bag, yeah.
So I came in 2 weeks into that incentive. A couple people had sold like, various G-Shocks and they were like, in the lead, whatever. I came in and just like sold a bunch over the first 2 weeks, won my $1,200 G-Shock. And then I said to myself, okay, cool. If I want everyone to trust me, they need to be able to come to me and ask me questions. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to know everything about the accessories that we sell. So I got into like the knowledge of the gold and like the sunglasses we sold. And, we had like 9.5 sunglasses, and I knew that like the lenses on those were from a company called Zeiss, and the gold on them were gold plated, and they were made, out here, made in LA, and like having all those little, points that no one usually.
And you took that upon yourself to know those little like facts of the thing, so that you knew when customers asked you had it in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who wants to be successful knows that they need to show initiative.
Do their homework.
And they need to put themselves in that spotlight,
right,
to be able to do what they want to do. So that's what my mission was, and achieved that. And soon enough, I had everyone's trust, and people were coming to me for help. And I wanted to grow within the business, and so I did. Went up to the key holder to second to whatever, did my thing there.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd spoken to the national manager for the business at the time. She had come over to Perth like as soon as I started, and we went out the back to where we had like a little basketball court and car park at the back of the store.
Oh, nice.
We sat down on the floor and had like a little bit of a heart to heart just to get to know each other.
Yeah.
In that moment, I said, I know this business is going to be in the States one day. I see myself being in the Melbourne store one day, and then I see myself being in the States one day. And that was 10 years ago that I had that conversation.
Wow.
I went to Melbourne like a couple years later.
Yeah.
Was there for 4 years in the flagship location, and kind of proved myself, I guess, there, and with the help of a lot of other people, and you know, people put me in the right position to do well. And then one day they started talking about the US. It got pushed on the back burner because of COVID. It would have happened in 2020. In fact, Simon, who owned the business at that stage, was over here. He was in New York at the time that COVID hit New York, like the epicenter. Wow, yeah. He had to quickly bail back to Australia so he didn't get stuck. And then that's when everything got put on the back burner.
Damn.
But everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
Because part of my visa was that I had to have enough experience within that, the equivalent experience within my role that could get me basically a bachelor's degree. And so in order for me to get my visa, I had to have X amount of years in the business doing what I'm doing. And had this had been done in 2020, I wouldn't have been applicable yet. Oh, so everything happens for a reason. COVID is like, if COVID didn't happen, I wouldn't have been the person that was coming over here.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
There was a lot of like little like
divine
there was
timing.
So many hoops to jump through when it came to getting that visa done and doing all that. Like I actually had a professor over here in a university go back and forth with me on everything that I know, and like he was able to put my experience onto paper and basically signed off to say that I have the equivalent experience of a bachelor's degree. And so I've got like a crazy CV. Like I've got a crazy resume because I've had people like do it for me and work on all this for me so that I could be applicable to be here and to have this visa.
Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
So you didn't like go to school, go to college to get a degree to do what you do, but you have the experience like of someone that probably went to school, obviously. Yeah,
I would have loved to do all that. I would love to study. In fact, I mean, I really wanted to get strong into mathematics. I wanted to be an electrician. I wanted to have my own business. Like that was kind of where I wanted to be when I was younger and be hands-on, but that's not the path that was kind of laid out for me. And I've just followed, every opportunity that was thrown at me. I'm Jim Carrey in the movie Yes Man. Just you gotta say yes to everything that you can. If you see an opportunity, because I'm someone who never ever wants to look back on my life and be like, I could have done regret, that, or like whatever, just like where I'm at right now. Like if I was to give up, no matter how stressful things get, no matter how much I miss like friends and family, all that kind of stuff, like I can never give up, because if I go home and give up on myself and give up on like what this journey has been, it means that I failed myself.
Right.
And like, even though some people are going to be like, you achieved a lot, and like all that kind of stuff, like it's still not good enough for me, because I'm my own worst critic, and I'm very hard on myself in trying to be successful. And, retail a lot of the times isn't a career that people have, and they don't really make something of it. But to be given the opportunities that I've been given, and to be in the position that I am, like here in the States, sitting here talking to you right now, like I'm super, super appreciative of.
Yeah,
and,
man.
That's something that like I've really come to, to realize, especially in the last like couple years, doing a lot of like inward thinking and whatnot. Like appreciation is something I try to, preach every single day. And, I'm really, really appreciative of the life that like I have now.
You've seen like the company grow like from the inside out, like just from you starting it from a full-time sales associate to key holder to manager to now GM of the US, part of the company. Like you've seen a lot of things change, even the ownership change and everything. But like how did you gain the trust of like the higher ups? Like how did you, because when Simon talked about you at the onboarding, he was like, you were that guy that really, and hearing this, because this is the first time we're actually talking about your story, that I never knew you were full-time sales and you worked your way up. Like when I look at people at our store now and I see, not to put anyone down or anything, but we see a lot of young kids there, and it's like they have dreams and aspirations to move up and stuff too. But it's like, yo, you gotta create the opportunity for yourself, not just wait to get promoted or to move up. Like you gotta learn the ins and outs of the product you're selling so that you become that guy, you know, from to the customer standpoint, like, oh, he knows everything about this product. Like, you know what I mean? But how did you get like good with Simon and the higher ups where they were like trusted you to come open up US?
I think like any industry, there's a lot of people that you know, play the right cards, they play the game well, and like they, you know, they get certain positions because of how friendly they are or how much they, you know, how much they're the squeaky door that needs the oil, you know. I've always been someone that let my work do the talking. And I think that's something that Simon saw in me and something that him and his wife and co-founder Tani saw in me, is that I was just someone that was willing to put my head down and get the job done no matter what it was, and try to maximize resources wherever I can, always trying to come up with like new ideas. Like you sit me at a table and you talk about any topic in the world and I'll come up with some ideas for you. Like I like letting my brain do the ticking, and I like just being creative, you know, and like I think that the creativity, my work ethic and all those things, you know, that I've learned over the years from my old man. Like, you know, I learned a lot from Simon with everything that he's kind of done in life. Myself and Simon haven't had, you know, much of a relationship over the years, and neither with Tani, and that's how I know that like my work was what did the work and whatnot. I wish I did have a better relationship with Simon, just because he is such a knowledgeable guy. I have always looked up to him, but I think it was just mainly my work ethic, and then knowing that no matter what, that they could trust me. That like I've never been someone that's like, oh, I can't do that. Like if there's a problem, I'll find a solution. Another thing that Simon was always very big on, like, don't come to me with a problem. Come to me with 3 solutions and we'll choose one. You know what I mean? Like, and that's something I've always been very big on. And like Simon is a big reason, as you know, to what I do today and how I operate in the business. And that's leading from the front. You know, like I want my whole team to feel confident in themselves, and to look at me and be like, okay, like I can't, you know, slack off, and I can't like, you know, dip out from what I'm doing because he never does, you know, and like, I want to be like the hardest worker no matter what it is. And like, you'll see me around the store, like, you know, I'm meant to be in front of a computer trying to do, you know, high level things. And like, I'm around the store carrying all heavy stuff. And like, you know, last year put my back out doing that, but, I'm not afraid to get in and get it done.
Get your hands dirty.
You know, like I'm the handyman. I'm a
to tell the listeners right now. Like if you walk into the store right now, those mannequins that are on the wall, Jordy dressed those mannequins himself. Like he got the freaking forklift, brought the mannequin. Like no one helped him do it. I was there. I worked that day. I DJ'd that day, so I see the whole store. You literally went up there, forklift, bring the mannequin down, pick the accessories, dress the mannequin up. Next one, like. You did it all yourself. There was no help. Like, and like, you really aren't afraid to get your hands dirty. Like, as long as it's cause you're a team player. Like, it's for the company. Like, you're not trying to please anyone. It's like, yo, we need to get this done and no one else is going to do it. So I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to be that though. Like I wanted to be someone that everybody can kind of go to and, you know, learn different things. Like I've tried to spend my time with like the visual merchandising team and like teach them everything that I know, and like let them develop their own way of doing things as well, you know, and give them that confidence and that trust to do what they need to do. You know, my sales team, my management team, my wider leadership team, you know, obviously like these days I get a lot of great involvement with even like the design team, the allocation team, you know, like the head office guys. Like I've been, you know, I appreciate the fact that I've been trusted enough by like the guys in headquarters to sit at the table and to help make decisions over here in the US. And another thing, going back to Simon, like, you know, one of the main things that I really wanted to make sure kept intact over here was the culture that we built, no pun intended, but like the culture that Simon built and the culture that we have as a business, that like, it's not just the average retailer. It's not just like that cookie cutter service that you go into any other store. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, good, thanks. Like it's more than that. It's high level. It's an experience. You know, every single one of our stores should be a destination for people. You know, our store here in Vegas should be somewhere that if you come into Vegas that you want to visit because you've heard someone have an amazing experience. They picked up things that you can't get anywhere else. Like there's so much that goes into it all. I don't think people understand like we really are like operating like a startup over here. We've got such a small team, but to be able to achieve what we achieve is testament to like the team that we have over here, because we have, such strong people that do wear many hats, that are willing to get their hands dirty, like you said.
Right.
Really unique personnel that were brought onto this business early days. Like people like Monica, Monica Lynn,
yeah.
shout out Monica Lynn.
Yep.
She's done a lot
She's
for,
a goat too.
the business and a lot for me. And, I met Monica, like we saw the store for the first time, like together. Like I came to Vegas, dropped my stuff off at my place and whatever like that. Like I met Monica like at, she'll hate me for forgetting this, but I always think it's the Water Grill inside Vegas, but I'm pretty sure it's not. She always corrects me on it.
The seafood
yeah,
restaurant?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain it's that, but I don't think it is.
I think it is Water Grill, actually.
But I met her there, and then we went and looked at the store, and that's when it was still bare bones. There was nothing. There was no tiling done. The hat wall wasn't done yet. Like things were still concrete. It was still early days, and I kind of collaborated with her in that moment, and we've backed each other and stuck it out since.
Yeah.
And people like that are special to me because I don't have a lot of support and a lot of people that are like making sure that like, I'm doing good and checking in on me. And, Monica is someone that not only has supported myself and a lot of people within the business, but has always made sure she's checked up on me,
Absolutely.
And you're one of those people as well. And like,
man.
I know I've told you that before, but I got a lot of time for you and those types of people who do
Likewise.
take that extra measure.
Yeah,
like,
man.
it's not me asking for it. It's not me like,
but we see how hard you
know?
work, man. I see how hard you work. I see like you're in meetings all day. One day we'll see you dressing up a mannequin. We'll see you helping out the back of house boys, or like you are such a really important part in the success of this company, man, because you really bleed this shit. You know what I mean? And like the tattoo on you, which we got to talk about too, like what made you get the tattoo, but like you, obviously it shows that you care about the brand. This isn't just a job for you. Like I just want to do this because I like the clothes. You know what I mean? Like you actually breathe and bleed this shit,
Yeah, for me, I think the biggest thing that I've taken from the business, we're lucky enough to have like a really big team. I mean, the Vegas store is its own community in itself. It's like 80 plus people in that store. And there's people from all different walks of life. We pride ourselves on having a diverse team. And the one thing that I'll take away from all of this, that like I've said to some of the team before, like whether they believe it or not, like I say, I feel like if I went home, I'd feel like a failure and all that kind of stuff. But the one thing that I know I could stand on and that like I'll be really appreciative of is the extra conversations and the extra moments I've been able to have with my team and being able to set them up with like a good job and like a good working environment and like all those kinds of things, like there's people that have come and gone, but I know like there's a lot of people that, have been a better person, within the business and, when they've left the business from when they started with the business, and they've learned a lot of those things, like myself and the store manager, Paige, especially.
Yeah. Shout out Paige.
We're very, big on being more than just like the 9 to 5, like treating it more than that and bringing like, a little bit more humility with it. And even, once again, shout out to Paige. She's helped me with like, she's increased my level of empathy just from being such a caring person.
Yeah.
And so like when I leave here, if I can leave here and see that a good amount of people were able to get some solid opportunities, start their working life, maybe jump into the next role because of Culture Kings, then I'll be happy with that. Like there's like guys that are part-time sales associates that then go and they're managers at a retailer because one, that the people have seen that they worked at Culture Kings, but two, because they've learned things without even realizing they've learned things. Just by listening to like things that I say and Paige says and my leadership team says and the things we all communicate and how we do things as a business, it's shaping these like young people into better people, whether they realize it or not, because we are a product of our environment.
Exactly.
And the people that we're
like
around.
when I listen to the pre-shift meetings and, you guys always end with like, what's something that you're thankful for, that like today's focus of the day is whatever the word is. And like when I'm sitting there and I'm setting up, I'm like, these are really like things that you can use in life in general and stuff like that. And like, it's good to see like the young people like getting engaged and they're, you know what I mean? They're not just like, oh my God, we open in 10 minutes. Like they're actually like engaged and taking it seriously because you guys are teaching life lessons, whether they know it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the younger generation, they want to learn those things. And, you know, our young team members, despite sometimes maybe, I mean, young people in general have this like, not that we're that old, but the younger generation coming up and whatnot. Yeah. The younger generation coming up, they want to have those genuine conversations. They want to learn these things and whatnot, but they're just not really put in the position to do that a lot. And these days, like there are a lot of distractions. Like if you just think to even not that long ago to when we were in their position, like there's far less distractions, you know, like if you think even further back, like once upon a time, it was just, do you have a family? Do you have a house over, you know, roof over your head?
Right.
Do you have a decent job? Paying the bills? Do you have a, you know, good family life? Whatever. People want more these days. You know, they want more from everything that they're doing. And the younger generation, like they are growing up faster. They are more matured because they're just exposed to so much more.
Absolutely.
You know, like with social media and all those kinds of things.
And
it's a blessing
AI
and a curse.
and stuff too. Like,
I mean, it's never ending. But yeah, that, you know, all that socials and stuff. Yes, there's like high expectations and things that people feel like they need to be meeting and all that kind of stuff. But you know, as society, we're pushing each other to be the best versions of ourselves in every aspect of it. Doesn't matter if it's a sport where like athletes are getting like leaner, faster, taller, stronger, like from like a rookie stage to, you know, businesses becoming, you know, faster moving and, you know, more innovative to like, you know, AI. And I mean, every business in the world using AI and whatnot, like we're all trying to improve. We're all trying to be better than the year before. We're all trying to, you know, innovate and have that point of difference. And it's a challenging world that we live in. And like, you know, you have to be like that young generation. You have to be open to all these things and want to learn and everything. Because if you get too distracted by, you know, all the bull and like if you let those things get, you know, cloud your judgment, like a lot of the things that are going on in the world right now, you know, won't get on that. But like, yes, have an opinion, but also like make sure that you're staying true to yourself. Make sure that you're focused. Make sure that you're not letting other things fall at the waistline just because you're really inundated on just like an opinion or like focus on something crazy that's going on and whatnot. You know, like stay focused, stay hungry.
Despite the distractions, you know, like try to stay as focused as you can.
And most of all, like remember like who we are as people too. Remember who we are as humans, and that we all, you know, like I said, Sonda, the definition of that, like we've all got complex lives. You know, we should all be trying to treat each other the way that we want to be treated. Absolutely. But we should also have an understanding of like, you know, what each other are going through. You know, a lot of people perceive me in a certain type of way in the position that I'm in, or like you said, like, you know,
you're
looking intimidating or something like that.
But
that's because I have to stand on business. Absolutely. And I have to do what I have to do, because otherwise all those people below me who perceive me in that certain type of way, they're the ones that fail if I fail.
Right.
Because they're only as good as, you know, what I'm providing for them and like what I'm being able to set up for them. And if they're not doing their part, then I'm having to shrink myself to help them do their part, you know, play their part. So everyone has a part to play on this planet, let alone like, you know, the business that we work in. But we should all just treat each other a little bit,
man,
the way we would like to be treated. I try to treat everyone how I would want someone speaking to my mom.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, like humility and like being genuine and like how I would want someone speaking to my mom, you know, like it's self-explanatory, you know,
respect
like,
and stuff.
Respectful. And like, if we have more conversations that are like that, then maybe we'll move a little bit better in a direction as a human race. You know, there's something like, what's it right now? Like 8.3 billion people or something like that on this planet, something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I looked at that, but, there's so many people here. We just have to learn how to coexist.
Exactly.
Coexist. We all started somewhere.
Let's talk about the Culture King tattoo, man. I've always wanted to, and I'm glad that you're here today. So I really want to ask you, but I'm like, let's just wait till we get you on the radio show. Like, what was the backstory on that? Like, was this like did all the staff get it like in Australia or?
No, it was early days coming over here. I wanted something to commemorate like this part of the journey.
Okay.
So I, you know, found a traditional little tattoo shop on the Strip.
So you got it done here in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It was when I first came out here.
Wow,
I was like, I want to, you know, make something that's going to
commemorate.
Rememorate.
Yeah.
Did that, and I've got a few tattoos like that. You know, a lot of them have personal meaning. Some of them are just, you know, artwork that I did that I loved. You know, some of them are just, you know, cool collaboration with my tattoo artist. because I'd like draw some designs, we'd go back and forth on designs and whatever. But yeah, a lot of them are stories and like moments in my life and, reminders of who I was. And because my life, I feel like I've lived like, to Perth, to Melbourne, to here, yes, it's been Culture Kings every time, but each time it's been a different team. It's been a different set of friends. It's been a different environment, a different city. And so like, I feel like I've lived the same life 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's, you need those little reminders and you need things that like kind of, check you. And like, there's a lot of little tattoos like that I have, that no one else really knows the meaning of, that are, kind of core to me, that, most of the time if people ask me, I'm like, oh, none of them have a meaning to them because I can't be bothered. Those people are like, how many tattoos you got? Oh, what's that mean? What's that mean?
How many tattoos do you have actually? Do you know?
Like, I got some of my thighs and my booty cheeks to cover. Otherwise, I'm filling some gaps.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get a couple things done back home. Because I've got a couple tattoo artists that I've already said like I'll catch up with just on a friend basis and do something cool. But I'll probably try and work on a few designs. I really want to do like a cool like dark style boxing kangaroo or something like that, a realistic one that's kind of like to represent the Aussie side and whatnot. But yeah, I like the tats have the stories, like the first Rolling Loud that we did.
You have a tattoo from that commemorates that?
I linked up with this tattoo artist in Miami that was out there tattooing. Real nice guy. He jammed out a little, the big inflatable like people that they do that kind of looks like a cactus head.
Okay,
stuff on it, the caricature that Rolling Loud uses. I got that on my
shit,
like an RL whatever year it was. But I got a few tattoos like that are just, memories. I try to get a tattoo every time I travel. Like even when I went to London for my visa last time, I was at the hotel room just like designing a tattoo and whatever, and then went straight to the tattoo shop and was like, I want this because I want to get something while I'm in London. So I got like a design of a British bulldog that I did myself to represent that trip, but also to represent like my English heritage too, because like part of my family is from just north of London in Birmingham.
Oh shit!
Yeah, part of my family.
I didn't know that.
So my grandfather's from Birmingham. My grandmother's on my dad's side's from Edinburgh, Scotland, like where Harry Potter was.
Okay.
The concept came from where J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter, like that real whimsical looking town.
Yeah.
And then the other half of my family are Greek and Macedonian.
Wow.
Yeah. So back home got my Maso family on my mum's side, and then the Aussie English side.
I wanted to ask: is there a tattoo that you regret getting?
I don't know. I mean, I've already kind of blacked out a couple. Got some blackout here. Got some blackout on my arm, and I've done a couple blackout pieces. But
were those to cover something, or you just wanted to just
more like the aesthetic? Like there was some stuff underneath that, but more just like the aesthetic. I like the black work aesthetic.
Yeah, okay.
I've done some pretty crazy black work. Like I've blacked out my nipples, my belly button's blacked out. My artist literally just poured ink in my belly button and just went to town in my belly button.
No way, that shit had to freaking feel
that was pretty gnarly. He was more freaked out than me from that and my nipples, because at the time I had my nipples pierced. I took that shit out like a year ago, but I've got a video of it still.
Yo, what made you black out your nipples?
The top of my nipple and the bars going like on either side. And he's like, like he's getting squeamish while he's trying to tattoo it. But me and my tattooist back home, we used to just go like hell for leather. We went
I hold
ham.
my nipples right now.
We'd just knock it out, and it would be like, who's going to tap out, me or him? Like 10-hour sessions. Like I'd like my body would start spitting the ink out of my skin, not going in anymore because it's just in shock, pushing it out. I'd look at him and he'd be like tearing up and whatever.
That's crazy, bro.
We just go crazy. But yeah, the blackout stuff's a little bit more time consuming. Like that's just like half an hour just back and forth on the same spot.
Right.
For half an hour,
Bro, I cannot. Man, that's crazy.
But yeah, I honestly, like, I forget that I even have tattoos these days because I don't, it's just a part of me.
How old were you when you got your first one?
Like coming up on 16.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I moved, departed home, we'll say, early on. And
was that to commemorate your first tattoo? Just like, I'm independent. Like,
I mean, that, and just like I had like a bit of like a fuck you attitude at the time as a kid, and like, had moved in with an older mate of mine, and I mean, 16, 17-year-old, we were drinking Jack Daniels with dinner.
Party
and, like,
life.
we were, he was having the boys over, and I was around like older people, and I grew up a lot faster than what the average person does. And like there's things that like I'm now understanding now that, you know, that I am the way I am because of growing up faster and whatnot. And the first tattoo that I decided to get, I actually slapped my last name across my neck.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So you can't see it anymore. It's one of those cover ups.
Yeah.
But yeah, had a moped, didn't have my license or nothing like that.
Oh wow.
Rode to his house. He tatted my neck. He obviously wasn't an official artist, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get tattooed because of rules and whatever, ages and whatever. But yeah, he tattooed my neck, and then I rode home like freezing as because like my body was kind of like, you know, when you get tattooed, all your blood rushes to that area thinking that there's something wrong. It's all the white cells trying to heal that area. So like all my extremities had no blood in them. I'm like this on the scooter, freezing. Like going home freezing cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all memories. Like I honestly, I don't look back on my
You've never
life
gotten
and
have you ever gotten like
anything.
a girlfriend's name on you tatted?
No, I'm not that kind of guy. Like I think that's cool. Like if you want to do that, if you love your partner enough to want to do that and like commemorate that and whatnot. But I don't know. I've always been about my like artwork, about my creativity and all that kind of thing. And so like, I just never really felt like I should do that. I mean, I let a girl like tattoo me, like I've told you before, like I got, you know, my best friend back home in Australia, Lozzie Pops, Lauren.
Yep.
Shout out Lozzie Pops. Just before I left, I brought her to my tattooist's house when I was doing a couple like finishing pieces, literally like the week before leaving. And she was sitting there and I already kind of had set it up with my artist. And I was like, Loz, like you're going to tattoo your name on me yourself.
Oh shit.
And so like my artist set her up with the gun. And she tattooed Pops.
And this is the first time her doing anything
First
like
time
that.
touching a tattoo gun. Yeah.
Wow.
So like on my forearm here, I've got her nickname Pops. And yeah, it's like heavy black because the first time she's like, zzz, and she's like, oh, did that hurt? And I'm like, you didn't even touch the skin.
Oh, wow.
And then the next time, like I just let her do her thing and she went deep, but she got it in like nice and solid. Like it looks good.
Dope.
Yeah, I wanted to tell her how much I like appreciate her and like do that and say like, you know, I'm willing to let you do that on me because I do appreciate you. And like, that's someone and one of the only people that I've really, really kept in touch with, you know, from back home because she's someone that does really care about me and checks in on me and,
absolutely,
you know, make sure that I'm still doing good and I've got a good relationship with her family. And, you know, me being in Melbourne away from my family back in Perth, her family kind of like took me in and, you know, treated me like a son and Loz was, you know, like a sister to me. And I really appreciate, once again, you know, people like that.
Yeah, you need someone like that. Like we've had conversations out here, like you left the country that you've only known your whole life to come out here to open up Culture Kings here in the US and like no family, you know, didn't really know anyone. No, you didn't really have friends at the time to just leave it all behind and come out here. It takes like a lot of guts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can only do that with support, you know, and I haven't had a crazy amount of support, but the people that I do have supporting me genuinely care about me and that's all that matters. You know, like I used to be someone that like, you know, my family, like I remember like vividly my sister being like, I don't know how you have like so many friends, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, they were acquaintances. Right. You know, there were people that like I was around because that was the environment that I was around in. You know, I've always kind of like, you know, worked and done a lot with like, you know, the club industry and all that kind of stuff, like in Perth, Melbourne, and even over here when I first came out. But there's a lot of people that, you know, maybe aren't as genuine in those industries.
Like, especially living in Vegas, like there's a lot of people that are like, they have ulterior motives. You know what I mean? Like, why are they being cool? Or like, there's a reason like they want something from you or because this city will eat you alive sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Vegas is a good representation of that, unfortunately, but it's like that everywhere. Like, you know, everyone's trying to, you know, use someone to get something, but I try not to, I don't know, just spend a lot of time with those types of people and definitely started to like, there was a, you know, period of life when I did start looking a little bit more inward. And it was mainly when I was in Melbourne. And I really started looking at, you know, who I was spending my time with and what my environments, you know, were and how that was affecting me either negatively or positively. And, you know, every reaction has a positive or negative reaction. Absolutely. Yeah, I just made a decision to make my circle small, as I think a lot of us do. And the people that still have like those massive circles, like they kind of go home a lot of the times feeling lonely anyway, because like a lot of those people don't really, you know, it's disingenuous and it's not really,
they don't value you as a person. They value what you can do.
Exactly. I mean? Exactly. And they don't even really know you. And like a lot of the time it's a feeling, you know, and especially like as you get older, like you can tap into that and you know, you let your intuition do its thing. And you know, like this is the first time we're talking about a lot of things, and like me and you have known each other for coming up on 4 years now, and but I still recognize you as someone that like is, you know, the homie, and like, you know, that if you know ever wanted to call and like you needed something, that like I'm gonna put some pants on, I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Or you can leave your pants off. You know, it's all good.
I know how you like to get down.
But one thing I think with us, I mean, we see each other a lot. It's usually in a work setting, but when we have those conversations off, like outside of work, they're really organic. Yeah, off campus, right? They're really organic. We have really quality conversations when we do have time to have them, and it's like it goes to show it's quality over quantity. You know, we see each other all the time, but like those quality conversations that we have, like. I'm like, this is somebody that I can know and trust and like understands, and you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And I wouldn't be having those conversations if like, you know, I didn't trust you, because I'm not someone who really likes to open up to people about certain things. I mean, part of something that I've had to deal with over here is not having a lot of people to talk to and, you know, vent to and whatnot. Like I don't want to go home and like, you know, vent. I don't want to, you know, spend my time at work venting. Obviously that's not, you know, I have that firm line between who I am at work and who I am outside of work. And with that, you know, you end up having to just reflect on things a lot yourself. And so like when you do get the chance to talk to someone that's genuinely wanting to like to hear you and receive you, you know, I try to take that chance, and I haven't had many of those, but you know, you're one of those people that like I appreciate that with. And
I feel like as men too, like we need to have people like that, you know, that we can just like unload like thoughts, feelings, all that stuff, like in a therapeutic way. You know what I mean? I want to tap into therapy too, because man, there's just so much things that we just need to talk to, and sometimes we need to talk to somebody that doesn't know.
Yes.
The people that we're talking about.
Listen. Yeah. Sometimes people just want someone that's just going to listen to them. Like they don't like too many people like, oh, but why don't you do this? Oh, you should do this. Like I don't really care. Like I just want to tell you just to tell you so I can get this off my chest.
Absolutely.
And to have a vent. And a lot of guys need that. And a lot of guys need to be open to doing that. And like people like Loz and like a lot of the other females in my life are the people that have taught me those types of things, because I was too proud to, or just hadn't really like thought about it because of, once again, the environment that you're in around like other men. But yeah, I think men in general need to speak more. Like something I've suggested at work is, you know, a group of us like meeting up, you know, on a monthly basis or something like that, and just, you know, jumping in the studio or something and just sitting around, not on like some AA shit, but like just like, you know, what are some things that you guys like feel like you like, you know, want to talk about that you don't get the chance to talk about? And like as men, like why don't we like offer each other some opinions if you want it, from personal experiences, whatever, just speak on things that we've been through, so that like you can feel a little bit more comfortable like with dealing with that situation or whatnot.
Absolutely.
And those kind of conversations is like, you know, as a human, like that's the stuff that really fulfills you, or like, or should fulfill you.
And it's like when you unload, it leaves room for new stuff to come in. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Like you feel lighter. You know, just recently, like I had like a bit of like a come to whatever moment, and like I was reflecting on some things, and like I was thinking about some homies back home that like, you know, I kind of left things unsaid with and whatever. And, you know, obviously because of me going back to Australia soon, like that's what, you know, why I had thought of those things, and they kind of hadn't crossed my mind since being over here. But there was things that I thought of, like, you know, little beefs or whatever, for lack of a better term, that I just let go in that moment, because I was like, it's not needed. And if I go home, I bump into that person, I want it to just be like, how you doing, man? You know, and like I saw who you were in the past, and I understood who you were trying to be and who you had to be, and the perception that you were, you know, upholding. And, you know, I see you kind of thing, and like, and that's okay. And like, I hope that you've grown as a person. I know that I have, and like, you know, you're a genuine dude, and I only wish the best for you. And I, you know, I want to say that to you, so like that you don't think that there's ever anything, you know, never an animosity or anything like that. But just because it's not even like between me and that person, it's like after I thought of that and thought like that I do want to let that go, I felt lighter.
Yeah, no,
like
for sure.
I felt like, like I can move like forward.
Yep.
With less like weighing me down, and like you don't want to have anything like having beef with people or like hating on someone or any like, we call them like ants, automatic negative thoughts. Something also Simon taught me. You don't want to walk around the world with that.
Right.
You want to be in your flow state. Another thing Simon taught me. You want to be in that green state of mind. You want to be operating with everything that you do with the most positive outlook on life.
So you can
and
attract more of that.
Exactly. It's that law of attraction.
Yeah.
Like be positive, do positive, get positive back.
Exactly.
Like it's once again goes back to that, like how we want to be treated and how everyone should be treating. And yeah, it's important. It's important to have those conversations. Men need to do it far more often. I mean, I don't have much of a voice on like social media and all those kinds of things, but when I do get the chance, I try to like, flick up a little post on, just like the post I did the other day.
Inspirational captions.
Yeah, I did that post the other day, and although like my reach is ass and it's 99%, 99.9% of just my followers and it's not getting anywhere.
Right.
I don't really care about like that part of it, but I had enough people message and be like, "Hey, bro, I needed that today."
Yes.
And that's like the enough right for me. And like
right?
Exactly, yeah. And there's like enough people that kind of that resonated with, and all it was just the comment was just something along the lines of like, it's okay to be where you're at right now, and like, it's enough. You're enough. And what you're doing is enough.
Right.
And like where you're at's okay. And like, yes, push yourself. Yes, like, be ambitious and motivated to want to be more and do more in life. But at the same time, make sure that, you recognize, where you're at and be present. That's the main thing.
Absolutely.
Be present. Don't be thinking too far forward or thinking of the past, because you can't change the past and you can't do anything about the future,
right?
But you can act right now on what you're doing and how you're operating as a person. And
there it is. Gems from Jordy in the building, man. Hey. We're gonna take a short break, commercial break, and we got more. We didn't even. This is the tip of the iceberg. We still got so much things we gotta talk about. Yeah, man, Jordy, I appreciate you being here, man. So thank you, brother. But yeah, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and don't go nowhere, man. It's On Air with Aaron right here on HB Radio, Las Vegas' #1 hip hop internet station.